Hello and welcome back to my knitting podcast. I believe this is the third one I've done, and I'm kind of excited about the updates. It feels like there's not a lot, but I kind of locked into like a couple of projects over the past month. So anyway, I actually do have two sewing finished objects that I want to talk about first. And a quick disclaimer, if you happen to be any of my family members or anyone I'm going to be seeing over the holidays, maybe just wait till after the holidays to watch this, because there's a good chance that there is a gift in here for you. So anyway, let me talk about sewing for a quick minute. I really locked into sewing this year. I think I've talked about this before, but I got a sewing machine in like 2020 and did a couple projects, and none of them were really good. And I had issues with my machine and kind of just gave up until this year when I like really locked in and went off. And it was a goal of mine. So I think I met that goal, and I'm really excited about all the things I have lined up for next year and all of that. So anyway, back to what I was going to talk about in what I'm wearing. And I don't know if this pattern has like an official name. It's like this really long description kind of just explaining what the pattern is. But I found it on Etsy. I will link it below. I believe it's by SewingmanPatterns. But it's like the first, I've only made like a couple tops. Made a lot of pants and a skirt, but not a lot of tops. And I really wanted a long sleeve. I really, really like this fabric. I recently got it in fabric sale from my local fabric store. So anyway, this is the top. It's got a very cute rounded collar. It actually comes with an option to do like the pointed edge collar or this one. But I really like the rounded one. I think it's a little softer. And it has buttons all the way down the back. I feel like people are going to be like, you have your shirt on backwards. But in fact, I do not. But I do want to show you the buttons. I went to my local yarn store. They have like a cute little button selection. And I did not bring the fabric, but I found these buttons that were like, there's like the teeniest bits of orange woven into this fabric, and I guess they like matches perfectly. In the store they did look a little darker, but I'm very happy with what they are. So let me show you. Here are the buttons. Aren't they cute? I really, really like this shirt and how it turned out. The pattern also comes in like 3 different sleeve lengths, so short sleeve, like 3/4, and wrist length. And part of me wishes I would have done it in the short sleeve because I think it would be really cute, you know, for like all seasons and whatnot. But I am still very, very happy with how this turned out, and I can make it again. I think that's all I have to say about this pattern, but I'm, very happy with it. So the next project I have is my Connie tree skirt. I will disclaim that I didn't do the like ruffle edges, which I feel like make the Connie tree skirt a Connie tree skirt, but I didn't have enough fabric, and I was just kind of burnt out for projects overall, so I kind of just took the easy way out. I got the pattern, like the quilt pattern itself, from a like free fiber library outside my local yarn store, and so it's like this 8-point star, I think, in the center. And what else do I want to say about this? Oh, so the edges, I kind of just like made this shape, this like trapezoid, I think, shape around the edges, just to give it more length, because the pattern was for like a wall hanging and it was just square, and I didn't know how I'd feel about the square as a tree skirt. Like rounding it, I just feel like it might look weird that the edges were cut off and whatnot. So I opted for this shape. I also wasn't sure how big it would get, and it didn't get as big as I would hope for. So anyway, I am very happy with how this turned out. In my little like fiber chat podcast, it might have been the last one I posted. I did talk about the fabric, and I was going to do blue as the like bias binding around the edge, but I just didn't have enough to do the backing and the edge. I bought the fabric, I think, before I bought the pattern, so I was kind of just guessing and wasn't totally sure what kind of pattern I was going to do anyway. So, long way of saying this is just how it turned out, and I'm very happy with it. It's not the most neat lines, and knitting with all these different, or knitting, oh my gosh, sewing with all these different shapes is so difficult. I'm making another one right now. It's like on my floor with just squares, and it's so much easier. So it was pretty ambitious. I'm going to show you it all opened up. It is very covered in cat hair, but that's fine. And again, so I made the Connie tree skirt, followed all the instructions besides that like ruffle wavy edge. So here it is. I don't know how to show you that without like putting my little head through the center of it. I just keep flopping this around. I don't know. It's kind of hard to show on camera, but maybe I will insert some footage of it like under my tree and everything. That is it for sewing. So maybe I'll try to add a timestamp if I remember for skipping through the sewing if you're not interested in that. So let me think. I don't know what order I want to go in, but I guess I will maybe talk about finished objects first, since I'm kind of on that track. So I think in my last update, I wasn't very far in this. It's been a month though, so I have finished the Olga sweater for my fiance. I hope it fits him. I made him try it on over the neck, and at a certain point for like sleeve length, also knowing it's going to stretch a little bit for blocking. So I'm hoping with blocking and all of that, it's going to work out nicely. I used Kelbourne Woolen Scout as I have for my Olga sweater and my Olga jacket that I made for myself. I really like this yarn. I like the way it feels. I like their color selection. Very happy with it. So I'm also knitting this off gauge. I keep doing that. I found that I think the pattern calls for DK, and this is a DK, but it's lighter DK in my opinion. So I sized down needles because I just preferred the fabric at that, and then sized up one or two. I'll try to note that in my Ravelry. I'm trying to get better at updating Ravelry. I think I have all of my projects in. I'm just not the best at like what size needles, what my gauge was, all of that. So a few details on this. I did a modified collar. I have also not woven in the ends yet, so that'll come when it comes time to black. But I did the modified collar where it has a few rows of double knitting before the collar, and it just creates this really nice little like ridge, and it, I don't know, it just makes it more defined and more visually interesting in my opinion. And I kind of, now I'm thinking about it, it might be nice to do this on the sleeves. Maybe not. Maybe in a different type of sweater. What else? Oh, so the one thing I'm kind of nervous about is I'm sure you can see it's got this like lump here. I'm really hoping that blacks out and isn't as visible after that, because I've tried it on and you can see this lump. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know if I made a mistake or if it is simply just needing to be blocked, but we'll see. And then I knit my sleeves, like the cuffs, the ribbing inside out for the first time, and I love it. I don't think I will be knitting sleeves right side out anymore, which honestly, this sleeve I did, like the ribbing is really even and nice, but it's like it's wider on the technically the outside, So when you knit it inside out, it's just like more neat and thinner channels. Maybe I'll try to get like a better close up, but it's not the biggest, most noticeable difference, but I do think it looks nice. Okay, the other thing to mention on these is when I did the tubular bind off, I didn't flip back to like right side out from being inside out. So it's like the tiniest detail that no one's going to notice, in my opinion, especially my fiance who this is for. But like if you knit it normally, like from the outside, it would have this little like tiny curve in, whereas I feel like it has this tiny curve out. I don't know how else to explain that. So like here, it just like goes like this, and then this side's a little more flat. No one's gonna notice that besides me, probably. But I did do that differently when it came time to do the bottom border, and I don't feel like you can notice it as much. So maybe I'm just making that up. I don't know. But anyway, here is the sweater one last time. I am quite happy with it. It is my first sweater that I've knit for someone else. So I'm very excited to give it to him. He basically knows what it looks like, but kind of tried to like avoid directly looking at it while I was finishing it. I did make him try it on to get the neck hole. I don't know if I mentioned this already, but to get the neck hole right and the sleeve length. And then I also just kind of like referenced one of his other sweaters. So my next finished object leads into 20 different plants, not 20, like 5 or 6 though. So a few months ago, I ordered yarn for my sailor slippers. I don't remember if I had these done by the last podcast, so if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. Or if you haven't seen a podcast, then who cares? Anyway, these are the sailor slippers, and I use this suggested yarn, which is Drop Snow. I've never felted anything before, so I felt like that was the safest bet. And I really like them. My comments on them is I wouldn't mind them being a little more narrow, not a ton, but like maybe like 2 stitches more narrow. I don't know. But I'd rather them be too wide than too narrow. So anyway, and then I don't enjoy the process of like seaming the top and bottom together. On my other pairs, I've kind of avoided doing that, and I'm making more. I have to do that before. It's like second sleeve syndrome, I feel like, in a way. Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit on that, but I did on one so far do the like little grippy dots on them. So like I have a lot of wood floor in my house, and they're very slippery. So I think I'm going to do this for everyone I'm gifting for because I don't want anyone slipping. And it turned out really messy. And I'm glad I practiced on my own first, but I think I'm going to try to maybe like shave down the fabric a little bit because all the little fuzzies that are left, I think, just make it a little worse. So when I do the second one, I'm going to try that, see if it turns out a little better. But regardless, it's the bottom of the slipper. I just can't imagine anyone caring too much, especially if I handmade them an item, hopefully. Anyway, so that is my finished pair. They did end up being like a smidge snug. So for everyone else, I'm sizing up because I'd rather have them be a little big on someone than too small, and then they can't wear them. So I am missing one. I have to grab it. Okay, so after I ordered and made my first pair, I decided to order one for another gift. And then I was like, why don't I just make these for everyone? Just everyone. So all of the like women in my family, I could make them for men too, but all the women in my family are basically getting these. So okay, so when I initially ordered the yarn for this next pair, these are the colors I ordered. But I only ordered one of these because I was just intending to do the like border around your foot part. And then I everything was a little darker than what it looked like online, in my opinion. Not a ton, but enough to where like some of these I just felt like were maybe too close together, and I thought that these two here looked really nice together and wanted them to be a little lighter, so I ordered a second one of these along with the order for all the other slippers. Um, and then I didn't end up using this one, but I think I can definitely use it for another pair. I've also seen really cute like felted coasters and bags and bowls even, which is really cool. So here is what that pair looks like, not seamed together, so it kind of just looks like a snake. I feel like one of the men with their fish. um, so I have to seam it together and I have to do the border. I'm still kind of contemplating what I want to do for the border. I could go darker, or I could use this like white, or I could just do like one of the colors that are in the slipper already. To be determined. Then, so I ordered a bunch more, and I knew I'd be cutting it a little close. And like, the holidays, I understand. It took a while to ship. I was like, I understand, I get it. And then it shipped, and it got stuck in customs for like a week and a half, maybe, which maybe is normal. I don't order a lot of stuff internationally, but it took so long, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to give people. I've already spent money on this yarn, so I don't really want to spend more money. Um, and then it was like finally released from customs, and then it like arrived into my state, and then it was like, yeah, we don't know when it's coming. It's late, and it was like stuck on that for a while, and then it just showed up on my door. So really glad, but then like by the time I ordered it, I now have like 10 days to make all of these. So anyway, let me explain the rest of them that I'm making. I have this pair that I'm making for my niece. She's 12 and she's way cooler than I am, and I hope she likes them. I also got her a gift card to a store that she likes. If she doesn't, maybe that'll make up for it. So um, this is her pair. She said she likes pink, and she gave me a few other colors, but I like this. So the sole is like this darker pink. I am also considering like, again, kind of the same situation as the other one, either using this darker color as the border or just a white. But I kind of like the idea of the darker color. So then I have this yarn, which I ordered this for the I-cord edge, and I don't know if I like this. So another one where like the I-cord edge takes up like no yarn, so I could use this for multiple. So I'm like, that would be cute. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But there's some color that will go with these for the edge, but these will be the stripes. And then I did order this color for the bottom. I could probably tell you some of these colors. If anyone wants specific colors, leave a comment and I will tell you what I ordered, because there's a lot. So the next one, so I had ordered initially these and one other, I think it was like a lighter brown, but that one was back ordered, so I subbed it for this one, and I'm actually really excited, and I am now jealous of this pair. I don't need another pair of slippers, but maybe in the future I'll make myself one of these. But it's like speckled, and I'm really excited to see how that works out. So the speckles are closer to this darker brown, so I think I'll do stripes with these, the base with this color, and then I was told that this person likes yellow, so I'm just going to do a cute little pop of color and do yellow on the border. And then the one that I don't have to do until after Christmas, thank goodness, because I overcommitted myself, is just going to be these like tan, gray, beige colors. They're a little closer in person, like closer in shade, but I think it'll be kind of similar to how this one is, where like the different shades of pink are very close together, but they still look cute. And probably white for that one. I also have more of this like plum burgundy color that might be cute on the border for that one. I think that's all the sailor slippers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have to make 5 pairs in, I think I've got a week now. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Yeah, and a tree skirt that I have to finish, which I've made good progress on. So I have 2 more work in progresses to talk about, and I can't remember where I left off on this one last podcast, but it probably hasn't changed a ton because I've been so locked into my fiance's sweater and now the slippers. So this is the Micaela sweater by Gregoria Fibers. I don't know if that's right. It's a Micaela sweater though. I know that much. And I think I'm done with the body. I think I tried it on. I keep making things too cropped. I don't know why. Not too cropped, but I think I need to start making stuff a little bit longer. But anyway, I before I like started all the sailor slipper madness, I was like working on this at the same time as the Olga sweater, and I just did not want to knit sleeves after knitting sleeves or at the same time as those. So I've kind of just put this on temporary hold while I finished up those stuff and now finishing up all the Christmas stuff. This is knitting for Olive Merino, held double, and it is also off gauge. I want to say that pattern, it might call for it to be held triple, or my gauge is just different, or I just have a different preference. I like that it's a little more dense than maybe what the suggested is. So, oh, I have to do the ribbing at the bottom, but I decided that I would maybe knit the sleeves first. Yeah. And then last thing I have is something I'm really excited about. This is yarn that I've had for a while, and I actually just kind of, I guess, came up with this plan while I was talking about my stash in a previous video. And I also want to emphasize the power of freaking mohair. So this is the leftover skein that I have, or like the rest of what I have held double with mohair. But this is the skein without mohair. And I'm just amazed. Like the way it warms up this color palette is incredible. But I love all these colors. Like there's a really nice blue. There's like a cream, brown, tan, green. A lot of colors I really love. But this I just feel like is more closer to what I wear now. So anyway, I got this years ago. I don't remember exactly what it was. I want to say it might be Manos Uruguay. If I can find it, I will add it. But I am holding it double with, this is Rowan Kidsilk Haze. I just picked up an extra skein because obviously this one does not have the mohair. And this is shade bronze. Again, I'm not sure what this is, but I'll try to figure it out. And then I am making, I believe this is the Mochi vest. I can't remember who this is by right now, but I don't like this pattern. I like the pattern. I love the way it looks. I don't like how it's written. And this is the first pattern I think that I feel that way. But I'm trying to like branch out and try new designers and stuff. And it's a beautiful piece. Maybe I'm used to other styles of writing. And this is absolutely no shade to the designer. Just, it's been an adjustment, I feel like, to read the way it's written. But I just joined for the neck area. And it's funny because I think in my last podcast, I was like, no one let me cast on until I finished the Olga sweater. And what did I do? I casted this on before, but I am doing some traveling around the holidays, and I didn't want to start something while I was traveling because I feel like that like beginning stage is always a lot to like pay attention to and whatnot. So I wanted to get just like the tiniest bit of start on this one, but I'm really excited about it, and it's just working up really nicely, and it's really beautiful. Oh, I have one more thing. I want to talk about. So after I finish all of my gifts, as a little treat, a little reward, I am going to be casting on, once again, an off-gauge sweater. And I might have talked about this before, but I got these like natural colors of the sheepskins from the Fiber Expo that I went to in October. And they are fingering weight. Like, I was looking everywhere for something for the new Norma. That's what I'm making. I believe that's my favorite things, I think. So looking for stuff by or something to knit that with, and a lot of the skeins were really expensive, rightfully so, but I ended up finding this, and I love that it was the natural colors of the sheep. It is Michigan grown, raised sheep with like Michigan farmers, and I love that, and I think it'll be really special, but it is fingering weight, and I really want the new Norma, so I think I'm gonna do some yarn math and just figure out what I can do to make it what I need to be and hope for the best, which I think I'll be fine. I just will knit like a way larger size, maybe the biggest size that they offer. Um, but yeah, you can actually, as far as I'm aware, like minimal knowledge on this at this point, but like you can still feel the like lanolin in this, which is really interesting. And I might be slightly allergic to that because after I caked these up, I was really stuffy for the rest of the day. That's fine. It's gonna be fine. So anyway, thanks for being here. If you made it this far, I'm really excited about these projects. Wish me luck on finishing that many pairs of slippers in a week. Not to mention they have to dry, and that takes like maybe 2 days. So yeah, if you're last minute knitting anything for gifts, I wish you the best of luck. And I don't know how many videos I'm going to be able to get out this month, but in early January, I'm planning on doing an everything I knit in 2025 and also everything I've sewn in 2025. Since I started this year, never really took it seriously or did much besides like 3 projects in the 4 years prior I had my sewing machine. So very excited to talk about that, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So if you celebrate any upcoming holidays, happy holidays, and Happy New Year if I don't talk to you by then.